What is up, guys? It is Mitch, or MCH. This is going to be a little story about the time I was almost gangbashed in year 6, or grade 6 for Americans out there. But, this was going on for quite a few weeks before anything actually happened. But before I explain this video, I don't condone violence in any way. If someone wants to fight you, try and just sort it out with words before you take it to physical activity to try and solve it. But let's get into this. So there was this new guy at my school, and we'll just call him Byron. So Byron was picking on my friend, on one of my friends. Let's call him Jack, and he was saying all this shit about Jack's sisters and just trying to get him basically wound up to the point where he'd hit Byron and get suspended for it. And this was going on for a good week, and he wasn't just saying it to me and Jack, he was saying it to quite a few people. And when he said it to me for the 5th time and pinned me up against a wall and said it, and then he slapped me afterwards, that's when I lost it. So at my school we had 2 breaks. We had 2 hours of class, an hour break, which was lunch, another hour and a half of class, half an hour, then another 2. And well, at the half-hour break, recess is what we called it, he thought he would be a tough kid and get 4 other people on me. And now at this point in time, I'd been doing taekwondo / martial art for about 5 years when he did this. So he didn't know this, and he thought it would be a great idea to get 5 kids around me. Keep in mind, they are fast, they are strong, but they weren't like solid people. And what I mean by solid is like they weren't like really bulky people. Like they were skinny little fucking shits and all that stuff. But yeah, this guy thought he'd be a tough kid and get 5 people on me. So he leaned over my shoulder and whispered in my ear, "Your sister's mine, I'm going to fuck her." And I was just like, okay then, I mean, if that's how you want to do this, sure. So well, I was thinking that. I didn't like say it in my head, because, well, out loud, because that would be fucking dumb to say, especially when it involves my sister in it. But then he decided, and he was the mouthy one and the big one, and when you get into situations where there's more than one person or more than 2 people, you always go for the mouthy one, then the big guy. And in this case, he was both. So he decided it would be a smart idea to walk around me, then face me, and try and beat the shit out of me. So, and at this point in time, I had PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, and that basically means when someone shows signs of hostility, I'll either react by dropping to the floor, or I'll react by dropping them. And this guy was showing more than one sign of hostility. He had 5 guys in a circle around me. He had his fists up as if he was actually about to fucking jab at my face. So, me being the little fucking smartass I was, I told him to fuck off or get the shit beaten out of him. He didn't listen, of course, because apparently I was a small kid, even though I was one of the tallest at my school. So I basically kicked him in the sternum and fractured his sternum. I punched him in the side of a jaw, and I dislocated his whole right side of his jaw. And then I ran around him, wrapped him in a headlock, and basically suffocated him till he passed out. And now, the next day because I was obviously going to be in trouble for this. So I got something called an R&R, which was basically just where you went to a little room for half of lunch, or even smaller, and you just wrote out what you did wrong, what you could do better next time, and what the consequences could have been. And this guy was in hospital for about 2 days, I'm pretty sure. And at that point, it was just like, okay, fair enough, he won't do it again, he's been in hospital. So he comes back and starts to do it again. So I basically did the same thing again. However, this time, instead of fracturing his sternum again, I broke it. And he was in a lot of fucking pain because your sternum is the bone straight down the center of your rib cage, and if you break that, it'll like go in and it'll hurt whenever you breathe or your heart pumps, and yeah, it's just really fucking painful. And then I got another R&R and I was suspended. Well, I was supposed to be. Then when I told my dad what happened, he went to the school because this kid was threatening with suing me, like pulling legal action. And my dad walked to my school, said to the principal, how is Matthew supposed to be in trouble? There's a Byron kid, continuously picked on him for weeks on weeks on weeks ever since he arrived at the school. He said that he was gonna fuck his Matthew's sister slash my daughter, and the principal just basically told Byron to come to the office. He asked if it was true. Byron said no, and Byron's dad was there. So my dad and his dad just argued. Then they took it outside, and yeah, and apparently this guy, well, Byron's dad, was a really tough guy. He was a bikie. He was in a gang. Fucking wow. And my dad was doing taekwondo for about 20 years. I mean, he's a big guy, not gonna lie. He's like chubby now, but he wasn't when he did it for the start. And basically, this Byron's dad tried to haymaker my dad. So my dad just fucking like hit his arm away and fucking kicked him in the hip. And so I wasn't in trouble. He was, so yay, my luck. But yeah, and that was basically my like first ever coincidence of trying to get gangbashed. And I'm sorry if you just heard my mouse click, I was checking something. So anyways, guys, it's been MCH, or Mitch, or Matthew. I'm out. Peace.